Hi
Hi
guys,
guys.
hope you are all doing well and having a good time. We are back again with another video, and this time the topic is going to be all about IELTS listening module.
Yeah, so some of you had requested to make a video on that, so we are back with the video and we'll give you all the tips and tricks which helped us to score a 9 in listening.
So guys, we have already made video on other modules of IELTS, and listening was the one which was pending. So we are back. Today is weekend and it's Saturday, and since morning we were planning to make a video on this, so we prepared all the notes and we are ready to share it with you guys.
Yeah, so first of all, what listening module is all about. So listening module basically comprises 4 sections and we have 40 questions in the listening section. So the first section of listening, it is all about the conversation between two speakers, and both of those speakers basically discuss a general thing like a reservation of a hotel or an air ticket, where they will one person will ask about the address, the name, the phone number and all that stuff, and the other one is just answering to all those questions, and you have to concentrate on the details, what all is asked. You can have a glimpse on the questions and then you can answer them accordingly.
So basically this is going to be a telephonic conversation where they are either guiding you on the address or giving you the information about the timings of some gym or some Zumba classes and all that. So one very interesting tip is that just when you read the question, if it will be time, you can imagine that, right? The speaker is going to say about something about related to time, something about related to class, subject or anything. So just by reading the question, you will get a hint what is going to be the right answer for it.
Okay, so now coming to the second section. The second section is about a single speaker who tells about a place. It could be a map, it could be a diagram, or it could be fill in the blanks. So you have to listen to that speaker carefully and you have to answer the questions accordingly.
Guys, make sure whenever they are talking, something, or someone is reading or giving information, you go through the questions properly so that you can pick the right answer from the listening tape which is going on. So this is what about section 2, listening.
So section 3, it is about it could be 2 or 3 speakers in the third section. So it will be basically on some thesis discussion, or
some
a
academic
student,
discussions.
yeah, a student has just made a project and he or she is discussing it with their professor.
Yeah.
So it is all about
or with
that.
the colleagues.
Yeah, and in the third section, you basically come across the multiple choice questions and the fill in the blanks. And I suppose that multiple choice questions are the most difficult part of the listening. So basically, I'll tell you how to tackle those questions.
And you know what, in this I remember exactly, like they'll be either talking in one direction, like how this teacher is not teaching one subject properly, and suddenly there'll be another student, another guy saying, no, but these subject they teach really properly. Like, if a conversation is going in one direction, there might be opposite view to it which might be asked in the question. So make sure you follow it completely, because sometimes they give an impression of, okay, they are going to discuss this stuff, they are going to agree on it or disagree on it, but in the question it can be something else. So there will be twists here in this section, so make sure you recognize that.
Okay, so coming to the final section, that is the fourth section. In this section, it will again be a monologue, and in this, one speaker will discuss about a very boring topic that could be on environment or biology or any kind of stuff which you might not have read or heard about, but you don't have to, worry or take stress, because you just have to walk through what the speaker is making you walk through, and you have to answer the questions accordingly.
So yeah, the section 4 is obviously going to be more difficult as compared to the section 1, and this complete test is going to comprise of about 40 minutes, out of which 30 minutes is the recording going on and you have to listen all the stuff too. And rest of the 10 minutes is for you to note down the answers, fill in the answers in the answer
So
sheet.
it is basically that for the first 30 minutes, you can just mark the answers or write down the answers
Write
on
down
your
the
question
answers
paper,
or
and
words.
the last 10 minutes you can just transfer those answers from question sheet to the answer sheet. This is how it is.
So this is what the listening test comprises of. These are the sections and the general questions which come. Now let's move back to the tips which we are going to share.
Yeah, so tip number 1, it is
The basic stuff, right? Because it's listening, you have to write down the answer. Make sure you use pencil. Never,
Yeah.
ever, you have to use a pen.
What was that? So much
Never, ever,
ever.
ever. Like, do not even, like, I've seen people, going confidently, okay, I'm writing with a pen, or I only got pen with me, I don't have a pencil. Even if you have a pen, go and ask the examiner that, hey, I need a pencil. Write down all the answers in pencil.
So basically, in brief, whatever he said, the thing is that please use a pencil in the complete exam. That is preferable, because at least you can correct if you have to make if you have made mistakes, you can at least erase it and correct it. So coming to tip number 2, that is, when you are practicing it at your house, so or wherever you are practicing, please try to practice in one go.
Yeah.
Please don't repeat the recording, because you won't get any chance in the exam that the recording will be repeated. So it's preferable that when you are practicing, please practice it in one go.
Yeah, and make sure you are, you have in your mind when you're practicing that, okay, like this is how the exam is going to be. You don't try not to be in your comfort zone, and make sure in the exam, make sure your headphone is working properly. They'll give you the time. Usually they have it like, make sure your headphone is working and everything. Just arrange the sound and make sure it's working properly. And
yeah, with me, I remember that in 2 of my attempts, I got my headphones replaced, because that the voice was shrill, or it was cracking, so I just wanted to make
you know
sure.
the quality of the headphones they use, so make sure you just play with it, and it should sustain for 30-40 minutes, so be sure of that.
Yes. And at some centers, I know that even maybe I have heard that in Dubai they don't provide with the headphones. So in that scenario, they'll play the recording. So please make sure that if the voice is cracking or breaking, you just tell them that it's not clear to you. So they'll fix it for you for sure.
All right. The next tip is
multitask.
So this is a listening module, but it really involves a little bit of reading. That is, you have to read the questions like really properly. You need to focus on that.
So it's all the simultaneous thing, that you have to read the question simultaneously while listening to the speaker. So you have to get into a habit of multitasking, because you have to manage both the things simultaneously.
So information is going to be thrown at you. You have to catch what is the right information and which is making sense with the question that is asking. So that is your job, right? So make sure you do the multitask, read the question properly, and then answer it.
Yeah, so the next tip is that read the instructions carefully. With instructions, I mean that while you move from one section to the other section, there will be a line written that answer the question with one number and a word / one number or a word. So there is a difference between these two. So what do we mean with one number and a word? It means that you can use one number and a word to answer the question. And if it is written one number or a word, it will mean that you can use only one thing, either a number or a word. So you have to make sure that you do read it properly, read the instructions properly, and answer it accordingly, because otherwise you won't get marks for it.
So make sure you read the instructions. And now, just like that, the next step is going to be take care of your singulars and plurals, S and ES specifically.
Yeah, because that is also very important, because in my first exam, I remember most of the questions I answered like that, you know,
Yeah.
S and ES, I missed it. And afterwards, I realized that, okay, that was the biggest mistake I
This
made.
is where you are going to use your rest of the 10 minutes when the recording is stopped, and you need to, you know, make sure you read the questions again and your answers are making sense with that, like how many balls were there, like anything, right? So you need to make sure if it's in singular, you put in singular, if it's in plural, you put the answer in plural.
Yes. And then the next step is try answering the questions in capital letters.
Yup.
At least on your answer sheet. In the question sheet, you can use anything. But in the answer sheet, if you use the capital letters, then it won't confuse the examiner, and
Yeah.
your answer will be precise and clear.
But if you put into lowercase, it won't be, you know, taken as an
It won't
incorrect
be a
answer.
problem, but as
it's preferred.
somebody's like Gundeep, who has a very bad handwriting.
I have a doctor's handwriting. So
Yeah, no, yeah, worse than that, I'll say. So the thing is that at least if you have a bad handwriting and you are using the capital letters, so at least it will help the examiner to read and provide you the marks according to that.
Just like that, there is, you know, British English and American English.
Yeah.
So you can use both of them, like, you know,
For
color.
example, yes, color. So we have COLOR
Yeah.
and COLOUR. So both of the spellings are correct. So you can use any of them.
Right.
Yeah. So coming to the next step, take care of your spellings.
Yup. Take care of your spellings, and after that, in case you miss any question in between when the record is going on, make sure you skip and move on to next question.
Yeah.
The reason is recording is still going on, right?
Yeah,
And
so if you get stuck on the previous one, then it is a probability that you will be definitely missing on the
Yes.
other ones. So don't make that
even-
mistake.
Because here in the listening, right, the questions are in the same sequence as the listening is going on, as the, you know, the speaker is speaking. So if in case you miss a part of information, that's okay. Move on to next question, read it properly, and make
Yeah.
sure you don't miss any important information.
Just
from that.
because, guys, you need an 8, and to score an 8, you
Like
need
minimum
37 correct answers. So even if you miss out on 3, so please keep a margin of that. I don't mean to say that you cannot score a 9,
Obviously.
but the thing
It's
is
easier.
that in case you panic or in case you miss it, like it happens, it's, you know, we are humans. So
But I'm confident you guys are going to do that. 8 is a minimum. You guys are going to score 9. Make sure you practice, and make sure you practice on the paraphrasing as well, right?
yeah, it's paraphrasing is important because sometimes in the listening, the examiner might say the same statement which is in the
Yes.
question paper, but he may say it differently, which will be similar in the meaning. So it's all about that. You need to be careful while listening, and you should figure it out that what he or she has said.
And there is no negative marking. So in
Yeah.
case you miss rest of the 10 minutes, try to just think about it. Like
You
try
can
to
take a
make
wild guess, yeah, because
But don't leave
yeah,
any
you are not
question
going to lose anything, but you may gain a mark if you know you answer it. And another thing is that the answers are whatever the speaker says, it is always in order with the questions. So don't think like that, you know, the answer for the question number 5 will come before question number 4. It's never going to happen, right?
Right, and practice nicely. And
Okay, so the best thing to practice it, you start listening to, you know, too much of things which are in English. Like you can watch any of your favorite series on Netflix.
you can watch our
listen to.
videos.
No, please don't do that. So the thing is
So
that.
guys, just with that, we don't rehearse anything. We just come, decide, discuss on the tips, and then we write all the notes and everything to tell you guys. So yeah, we kind of do make mistake, but this is not rehearsed video, right? We don't write a
So
script or
it's
anything.
like okay, coming back to the
Yeah,
main
sorry.
topic. The
How
thing
do you
is
practice
that you have to practice is what you can do is you can just listen to English news or some English music or some videos, but the thing is you don't have to switch on the subtitles, because our mind is like that. If you'll switch on the subtitles, you'll start reading that. So you don't have to do that. You have to be a careful listener. That's why you have to listen to such things. I'm not saying that you need to do all the boring stuff in the world which you don't like, but please do something which interests you.
Take a Netflix subscription, watch your favorite series. We've started with,
or otherwise borrow the subscription of your friend, like we have done.
Netflix is really good. There are many interesting series in there. So watch it, and you'll be good.
Yeah. So now coming to the most difficult thing which I have always felt about, the MCQs. So the main thing how to tackle the MCQs, I'll say honestly, it's practice. And more than practice, if you are listening to the practice videos when while attempting the exam, when you are doing it at your house or in your own space, you have to get into a habit that whatever the speaker is saying, and he or she is telling that, okay, my professor, say I am a speaker and he is the person who is involved with me in the conversation. If he asks me that, okay, what does your professor teach? So if I say, as far as I remember, he doesn't teach English. He might have taught mathematics in the past, but right now he is teaching sociology. So
there are 3 subjects which came.
Yeah.
Right? That's how
But
deal with it.
The first subject he denied, the second subject he said
he
might be, but the final answer was sociology.
Yeah.
So this is how MCQs confuse you. But there is definitely a way out, that whenever the speaker is saying something negative about something or saying there is a probability, so you just have to mark it down, like just put a cross on your question paper, and finally you will be very near to the answer which is correct. So this is the strategy which I have always used, and it has worked for me. You people may have a different strategy, so just work out something, whatever works well for you, and I think you'll be able to do it.
And just one more thing, in this section 2 or 3, I remember, there's a map which comes. Now I was not able to follow it properly, because in map is such thing, if you can't follow like one question, all others are going to be wrong for sure, because they are going to tell you, okay, you go straight, there'll be this place, then you have to take a right, then do that. So make sure you practice that.
Yeah, it is especially in the case of the questions where the directions are needed, as in like north, west, south, west, east.
It's so really easy, I tell you. It's really easy. Once you get a gist of it, it's just it's easy. It's like puzzle you're solving or something like that.
Yeah.
Make sure you go on to YouTube and look for the maps for IELTS.
You know what? YouTube is the best source.
Just like
whatsoever. So whatsoever, especially Cambridge IELTS, because I prefer to suggest that Cambridge IELTS is the best to practice, because I had practiced from there. So whatever material related to the maps and the diagram questions is available on the YouTube videos, please go through that and please follow the tips and tricks, whatever are there, whatever you get easily, and I think you will be able to be
you guys will definitely do it. Now listen to this video again, maybe all the tips and tricks hopefully we have given you, they are going to help you. Practice it and kill your IELTS exam.
Yeah, so not literally, but yeah. Okay, so this is all about the IELTS listening, and if you guys have any questions or any queries, please comment it in the comment box.
We're gonna reply each and every question.
Okay, so now I think Bohemia is inside him, so we'll wrap it up. So, alright guys, take care and good luck for your exam.
Good luck for your exam, practice,
watching.
And please subscribe, like. The more likes you're gonna give, the better videos we're gonna come up with, and it gives us, like the response or the feedback, like how you're liking our videos. So,
alright guys, see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.